Hello, Year 4. It's me again, Mrs. Fletcher-Brown. Lovely to see you back. So this is our third lesson this week. We'll be doing it on the Thursday in school. If you're at home, you might be starting to get a little bit ahead and be doing it on Wednesday, and that's absolutely fine. So just like your previous lesson, you should have submitted your work via Dojo, and your class teacher will have given you some areas to focus on today. It might be the same areas as the previous day. There might be new areas to focus on. For example, it might be to include some inverted commas. It might be to make sure that your work is clearly structured in paragraphs. So just like the day before, you need to get a different colour pen. And before we begin today's bit of writing, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go back to yesterday's work and I'd like you to edit it and improve it, focusing on those areas that your class teacher has given you. And really, really take your time to do this. Editing is just as important as writing. It's a crucial bit of learning that you need to be able to grasp, and it will support you in your English work all the way through school. Once you've finished editing the work from yesterday and you're happy with it, then you can begin to move on to the next two sections of your story plan. So where do they go next and who happens next? That means who do we meet next? And just like before, really take your time. We're really focusing on quality in this. You should be writing for at least half an hour each day, really thinking about the vocabulary that you're using, seeing if you can use varied punctuation correctly, making sure that your capital letters are used appropriately, and you can use a dictionary to support you in any spellings that you might not be confident in spelling on your own. And really make sure your ideas are clearly structured into those separate paragraphs. Remember that paragraphs in writing help us to structure our work so that when the reader reads what we've written, they're able to follow our storyline and the writer's train of thought clearly and correctly. It's what we call cohesion within a piece. So they hold the piece of work together, and it makes your work flow really beautifully. So make sure, so for example, in this lesson, the where do they go next might be a separate paragraph to who happens next. That's who we meet next. So just like before, take your time, focus on the quality of your work. There is no rush to this. The children in school that are doing this will be taking just as much time, and it is independent. We want to see what you're capable of because we're so proud of everything that you've achieved so far. And we cannot wait to read this next section of your story. As soon as you've done it, submit it via Dojo to your class teacher. And just like before, they'll give you some areas of learning to focus on for your next lesson. Keep writing. You're doing really, really, really well. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.